Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 101 of the Friday Nightmares podcast. I am one half of your hosting team this evening, part of the, premium podcasters. Not like that trashy beef Wellington of podcasters that Tim Davis keeps bringing up on the Horror for Dummies. But I am one half of your hosting team, Mr. Smoke Show Crawford, coming to you from the town of Swartz Creek in the county of Genesee, in the state of Michigan, in the United States of America, in the North American continent, in the Western Hemisphere, on the planet Earth, in the Milky Way galaxy, fully vaxxed, boosted, and waxed, and ready to climax. And if you can, please get me wet and feed me after midnight. I'm the man with the glorious beard, aka the mother of cats, aka the man with the humongous ego, aka Scott Housen, aka Scotty Too Hottie, aka Spanky, aka Hey Scott. And with me as always is the other truly premium podcaster on this team.
Heather Powell coming to you today from Waterdown, Ontario, Canada, not Australia, because that's where trashy podcasters live, right? Let's be real. They're
I
the
know.
colony that Britain forgot about.
They're they keep saying they're the beef Wellington of the podcast community.
Beef
They're
Wellington.
they're the beef Wellington that Gordon Ramsay watches on YouTube and reacts to terrible Americans. So like the bologna beef Wellingtons of the
Bologna beef Wellingtons. That's really funny. Oh my goodness. We're at almost the end of 2024. There's
by the time
only
you hear this, we probably
Yeah,
will.
actually, by the time you hear this, is 2026. But this was recorded in December, to be exact, December 8th of 2024. I kind of figured with Scott, besides Nosferatu, I couldn't really see anything else that was coming out
Yeah.
that was going to be a contender for end of the year list. So I figured we might as well just get her done because it's slowing down quite intensely. So
Yeah, and I think I've been just burnt out on like the ones that I've watched over this last year, so I've been taking a break and doing a lot of Christmas horror films and some older horror films. And yeah, just kind of just wrapping up. I got a couple big ones, or at least fairly big ones I still got to watch, but yeah, I'm thinking I thought I was going to be at close to 120, 125. I think I'm going to be closer to 110 to 115.
hey, this is my lowest year at 160.
Yeah, that's great.
One year I was last year I was 189. In 2022 I was 205, and then in 2021 I was 208. So I'm okay with it. Especially now as we slow down. It's been hard. I watched some that I just thought were silly, for funsies. But I figured we ended off. The last one we're going to talk about is probably the prize pig, to be
Yes.
honest. So we'll talk about that. But yeah, it's been a year. It's been a year of up and downs for me. Some real good ups of going away and seeing my friends in England, going to France. All the podcasting I've done with Scotty, many a nights out with friends, and of course the down of my dad passing away this year.
Yeah.
But we continue on, and I'm forever grateful for a brother like Scotty who got me through, even miles and miles away. The love was very transparent. So thank you again, Scotty, for all you do, and I'm excited for 2025 to celebrate yourself and Erica's wedding. That's something that I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I was saying thank you for being such a good friend. You've helped me out through so much over the years as well. So it's, that's what brothers and sisters or as close friends like we are do.
That's true.
We're there for each other. And
Like premium podcasters do.
yeah,
Really.
exactly. We're like the tomahawk steak of podcasters, if you will. We're going to go food route.
I love it. I love it. I haven't listened to the most recent Horror for Dummies, and I need to.
Yeah.
Tim. I always make me laugh, especially when they make fun of me, because I'm sure if people listen to that show, they'd be like, "Oh man, this Heather girls are real. See you next Tuesday." And I think I do definitely present a specific persona on this show that's supersized to who I actually am. But that's okay. That's what we do here. And we made it over 100 episodes. So congratulations to us. We're 101 Dalmatians, 101 episodes in, and we'll wrap up this very mediocre year, I guess, in horror with some standouts.
Yeah, I think so. Like,
Right?
yeah, the 2024 award show shall be interesting, like, to say the
Yes.
least.
I think this will be the first year where our lists will be very, very opposite. I can't actually even predict. Actually, I have an idea of some of them. I think Scott and I might have some crossover, but I think overall there might be some very different thoughts on the year. Like, for example, obviously that Mickey Mouse movie that came out this year is
Oh
my
God,
number one film of the year. What was that called? Dead Mouse or something like that?
Mousetrap,
Mousetrap. The Mousetrap. Yes, clearly that's the best film of the year. So
and
you know,
it's as well put together as the board game Mousetrap.
it is. It's about the same quality, though. Haunt Season sure did give it a run for its money.
Oof, yeah.
Unfortunately. And this was also the year of folklore in terms of bags. Bag head, bag man. There's been a lot of bags this year.
And the one that I still just don't want to watch just because the title, Daddy's Head.
Yes,
Jesus.
yes, Daddy's Head. Yes, I saw Daddy's Head. The whole time I was like,
I know, because I showed Connor the title and he's like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "Dad,
yeah.
it's a terrible title."
Like, it's so good. We should all watch it together.
Oh, he'd probably lose his damn mind.
You know what I really hope is that for fuck's sakes, Blumhouse, can you do better next year, please? For the love of God, can you please just, God damn it, can you just pull something out of your ass? Oh, actually, A24 is dropping that kind of New Year's 2000 movie. That looks
Oh
pretty
yeah,
good.
Y2K. I'll say that
Right?
looks fun.
I don't know if that's being dropped before the end of the year or not.
I think it is.
Is it? So that might be the only other one besides Nosferatu that we are, I don't know, gonna ever talk about again.
Yeah, and hopefully I'll see both of them before we do our award show, but we shall see.
Right. Um. Anyway, we'll get into our 2024s. So we'll start off with this first one. I've been saying this name incorrectly. Is this Heretic? Is that
Heretic.
Heretic? Okay. This is a 2024 film. It was a theater watch. Hugh Grant is in this as the villain, which was quite a pleasant surprise. The question everything. Two young missionaries are forced to prove their fate when they knock on the wrong door and are greeted by a diabolical Mr. Reed, becoming ensnared in a deadly game of cat and mouse. This is a really, really great religious themed horror film. Hugh Grant, I could take or leave Hugh Grant. Like, I think he's a decent actor, but there's nothing that I've seen him in that I'm like, oh man, Hugh Grant's in this movie. I can't wait to watch it, right?
Right.
But I think, as a villain here, I think he really portrayed a strong antagonist, really, really strong antagonist who start like just is creepy the entire time and is unnerving and as only Hugh Grant can be. And I think the reviews echo that. Like, we're looking at Duncan McLeish gave it 4.5 stars. Rob the Hump gave it 4.5 stars. Dave Bailey gave it 4 stars, or Sandra Kane is his stripper name. Gave it 4 stars. And as Sandra recently found out that I would definitely pay to have him as a stripper. That's why he's not listening to the show anymore. He's like, oh, Heather's a creep. Anyway. But yeah, this is good. I don't think you've watched it yet. Have you, Scotty?
No, because it's only been in the theater, and I have not had a chance to go to the theater recently because Erica had her hysterectomy, and for theater seats and everything like that, and car drives, it would have been uncomfortable for her.
Totally.
But yeah, and we just been busy, with the holiday stuff going on, and because we had Thanksgiving and Christmas in full force now, and we already got our Christmas tree up, our presents wrapped, all that stuff.
All I'm hearing is excuses, and I thought I was podcasting with Premium Podcaster, not
No.
Danielle and Tim.
No, you're dealing with the Kraft mac and cheese of podcasting.
Kraft mac and cheese. That's funny.
This is one I really want to see, though.
I think you'll enjoy it. I think Erica will enjoy it too. It's very much a game of cat and mouse, and the less you know about going into it, the better. All I can say is that there's 3 main characters: Sophie, Thatcher, Cleo East, and Hugh Grant, and they put together an incredible performance. Like, I have nothing but praise for the 3 of them, whoever did the hiring and the casting for this movie knew exactly what they were fucking talking about. But it is dialect heavy. So be
Okay.
prepared for a lot of talking. This isn't a movie that you can play on your phone. There's some movies out there, like I'll talk about them, where you could go on your phone for 20 minutes, come back, and, generally get what's going on.
Right.
This is not one of them. You do have to stay focused for the 111 minutes. And I will say it was unpredictable. And I really, really did enjoy this. So recommend it. We may see this again an end of the year.
Nice.
So the next one here, did you watch this one?
No, you
Right.
at first you were selling me on it, and then
Hmm.
it didn't sound like it would have been worth it.
Yeah. This got weird real quickly. So this is called Rumors. It's a 2024 film. It was released at TIFF this year, which is Toronto International Film Festival. I can just hear Rob the Hump now. Find me a real 2024. Anyway, the official motion picture of the G7. So, en route to the annual G7 summit, 7 leaders of the world's wealthiest liberal democracies get lost in the woods and facing increasing peril while attempting to drop a provisional statement regarding a global crisis. So, Kate Blanchett and Roy DePriest are some of the most recognizable names here, though, as you go through the other characters that play world leaders, you will have definitely seen them in other things. Um, this kind of starts off as a mystery and it gets really weird. I will say that the first half is very engaging with the situation that these political leaders find themselves in regarding a global crisis and how they're trying to manage it. Then it gets kind of odd. Like then it kind of goes off the rocker like only a film that's shown at a film festival can do. And I'm not quite sure if I got the point of the ending.
Mm.
I will say the acting is out of this world. The set design is amazing, and the first half of it, we're looking at a runtime of what is it here? Why doesn't that say the runtime? Oh, 104 minutes. I would say just about 70 to 80% of it's really solid, and then it gets really weird. And I don't know who to recommend this to. Um I think the first half is really great for a lot of people, and then it kind of goes this weird kind of sci-fi but not sci-fi vibe to it. Either way, if you like film festival stuff and you like things that are unique and different, I think this may be a film for you. There's really no one else that's watched it in our little community. Just me, because I'm a premium podcaster. But if anyone's interested, it is available on Apple TV, Google Play, Amazon, YouTube, and Microsoft Store. I would say you gotta really like kind of like political horror, really heavy dialogue, and that typical kind of film festival artsy out there kind of plot. If that's what you like, this will be a movie for you. If not, I don't think anyone needs to watch it for their end of year list. So,
Yeah, good to know, because yeah, this
yeah.
one did have me curious, and as you kept talking to me about it, I'm just like, okay, I'm interested.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
This next one, I'm thinking you probably have not seen.
No.
All right, so this is one I watched last night. It's called "He Sees You When You're Sleeping," directed by Charles Steed, and has an 83-minute runtime. Chester returns to the home of his estranged and hideously overprivileged family at Christmas, only to find an unknown killer disguised in a Santa outfit is stalking and killing family members one by one in order to claim the huge family fortune. Which one of them is the killer? Well, that's kind of a weird synopsis because it starts off that this character, Chester, as a kid in 1963 or so, has wakes up on like Christmas Day to a Santa killer killing his mom and dad, and then it jumps into the future, like
Isn't
to
that in
80.
another horror movie?
Yeah, it's been in a couple.
Yeah, like that's been a theme of a couple different films.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
Um, But this one, like, it into jumps into like the 80s, and yeah, then he goes back to his estranged family. So there's like that piece that's missing from the synopsis. But this kid or this guy, meets up with his family, and he is such an asshole. Like for a
Mm,
main character, like he is a dick to everybody. That's not even like his asshole family, just people that are being friendly to him, like old neighbors, and he's just a dick to him. I'm going, okay, so I can see where this is going. There's not going to be a single likable character in this film. All
nope.
right. And
Nope.
Caroline Williams is in this.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, this could be good or could be bad
Yeah.
because she has hit
Yeah.
or miss. And yeah, this was not good. It was dumb.
How you say that? Not good.
Not good. It was dumb. I didn't care about the reveal at the end about the killer Santa. Didn't care that anyone was getting killed because you don't like any of these characters. So there was no sense of, oh no, it was more, oh, okay. Anyways, moving on. And, oh no, the United Healthcare CEO died. Oh, anyways, moving. That type of. So yeah, that's pretty much how this movie felt. Oh, it just there was nothing good about it. The Christmas atmosphere was okay. Terrifier 3 did a better Christmas atmosphere than this
Mm,
movie did.
mm.
And yeah, they just I've been watching a lot of questionable Christmas horror films and yet this falls in that category of questionable. So
Yeah,
it's not one I'd
yeah.
recommend unless you're just needing you're in the mood for a Christmas horror movie.
I would agree though. I think Terrifier 3, even though I did not enjoy it as much as the original, and I do feel it's getting a little slapstick stilly at this point. That being said, I do think it does Christmas well. Like I
Yeah.
definitely think it nails the Christmas vibe. And I don't think it will be on my top 10 though. I don't think it will get there for
Tisk,
me.
tisk, tisk.
It's just too, and again, I respect the film. I think it's great. It's just getting too fucking silly. Like when I'm like, there's certain scenes where the music that's being played is so silly with what's
I
happening.
love
Like
it.
it's just, I don't know. The first one was so dark,
It's a
and
terrifying Christmas.
I
That song
know,
has been stuck in my head.
I
I love it.
know, and
I've been looking for it on Spotify and I can't find it anywhere.
I'm just so glad that it's done well. At the end of the day, I would never say it's not good. It's absolutely good. It's just I find that my dislike of them is increasing with each one. Like I even like the anthology that art is in more than I like Terrifier 2 and 3.
Wow.
I do
Yeah,
like the
which
subway scene, the subway story I like.
yeah. Which I gotta say, I do kind of find it funny that you're not into the slapstickiness of this,
I
but
know it
then
is
you look,
weird.
but then you look at the name of our podcast, and you are Nightmare on Elm Street part of the podcast name.
I know. It's really weird, isn't it? Like to be honest, you
Yeah,
would think that. And I don't know if maybe because with the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, I think I saw 3 first. And I wonder if my opinion had been different.
have you
If
seen one of these
yeah,
sequels first?
yeah, right. If I had seen the original and then like done it like what I did with the Terrifier films, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And again, like this isn't me shitting on the films. I
No.
think the films are awesome. It's just for me, I have my preference, right? But again, I think you're right that it nailed the Christmas, like
Yeah.
nailed it. And I'm
And
always
as you can
impressed
tell,
by their practical effects. Sorry, go ahead, Scotty.
oh yeah, absolutely. But I was gonna say, and as you can tell, we've veered off from He Sees You When You're Sleeping to talk about Terrifier 3, which isn't even on our list today. Just
No,
because
but I
goes to
did
show how
watch
much.
it. But I
Yeah,
did watch it, and you mentioned it, so I thought, well, there's a perfect bridge to bring it in.
yeah. Well, I was
Um,
gonna say that just goes to show, like, yeah, that's how good this one movie I was just talking about is.
yeah, we're like,
Let's talk
go
about a
watch
better one.
something else. Go watch this other movie. So if some reason someone needs to like, I don't know, they're watching all the Christmas horror films, where can they find this? He Sees You When You're Sleeping.
This is on Google Play, Amazon Video, YouTube, Fandango at home. Buy it or rent it. I wouldn't recommend either. Um, but apparently it is streaming on Hoopla, so I believe that is like if you have a library card, you can stream movies from their website.
Oh, well, there you go.
So if you can stream it for free, do it that way. Don't bother paying money for this. This was not good. Like only 3 people have watched it that I follow, and Don and Ellie is the only one that people here would recognize, I think, and that he gave it 4 out of 5 stars, which is why I love Don and Ellie. He has a love for these independent films that
Right.
he sees something in them that I don't, which is awesome.
Yeah, and everyone has different strokes that they like. Right.
Exactly.
I watched half of this next one, and I thought it was very Spanish. So it was very much an international Spanish film. I'm like, oh yeah, this is fucking Spanish. So I look forward to hearing.
Well, was there
what you
no
think.
subtitles or something?
Oh, did you not? Have you seen this one yet?
No.
Oh, okay, we can take it off then. It's Rita. I'm halfway through on Shutter, and it's just like the vibe. You know the vibe of Spanish movies where they're like
yeah.
dark and everything's fucked, and
Yes.
it like puts, let's say, children or other vulnerable people in shitty situations. Like there's no happy ending. Yeah, that's Spanish movies. It feels like Rita has that vibe, but I haven't fully watched it yet. I am halfway through, but if anyone does want to see it, it's the most recent drop on Shutter. I would say, even only being halfway through, if you like Spanish movies, it's worth it. If you do not like Spanish movies, I don't recommend it. You got to be a real international Spanish movie fan.
Connoisseur.
Yes, to get into it. It is very artsy, and that's the thing with Shutter. They always pick up the variety, right? You never
Oh
know
yeah.
what you're going to see on the Shuddy. This next one I thought was absolutely fucking hilarious.
I knew you would love this one.
I was so funny. Oh man. Do you want me to bring it in, or do you want to bring it in?
You go ahead, because I think I may have mentioned it in
Did
one
you
of our previous
already?
episodes. I can't remember, but because I know I did watch it before our last recording.
Okay. Okay. I'll be
I may have
quick
forgot to
then.
add it, but
Okay. I won't be long. It's not like it's deep. Rippy. It's about a kangaroo from Australia. It's actually just Tim in the kangaroo outfit.
I was
running
just gonna. No,
around.
no. Tim is the protagonist fighting Rippy,
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Right?
punching him in the face.
Nah, Tim just punches wildlife in Australia. Rippy's gone rogue is the tagline. Young police officer Maddie is determined to live up to her deceased father's legacy, who ended up being a drunk. That was so funny. Anyway, her courage is put to the test when locals are found brutally ripped to shreds by a zombie kangaroo. As the undead beast leaves a trail of carnage, Maddie, with the help of her eccentric Uncle Schmitty and resilient Aunt Donna, must embark on a high stake battle to save the town. This movie is exactly what it sounds like.
Oh, 100%.
It is a creature feature about a really fucking angry kangaroo that looks like it's undead from the Pet Cemetery. It's like they were like, oh shit, Pet Cemetery, zombie pets. You know what we should do? A fucking kangaroo. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's overly great, but I wouldn't say it's overly bad either. I had a lot of fun with it, and I thought it was easy to watch. These cheesy little creature features are a good time. I enjoyed the kangaroo effects for what it was. I accepted it for what it was. I would say this is middle of the road. There's no
Oh yeah.
Crackoon. But this is also no the Meg, right? So know your expectations going into it. But Tim, you should watch this. I want to know if this is
I,
what your life is like.
I think he did watch it.
Did he?
I
Okay.
think him and Luffy both have seen it.
They haven't recorded it on Letterbox. Didn't happen on Letterbox. It didn't happen. That's all I know.
Oh yeah, I guess not. Huh.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one was the CGI was really bad for the
Yeah,
kangaroo, but I think it kind of added to the charm of this just being entertaining, because I was just laughing throughout the entire thing. It was just so silly, and starring or having Michael Bean in it, so I was like, oh wow, he's actually in a. I guess that makes sense now. His career hasn't really been much of anything lately, so but yeah,
Right.
in the ending when like towards the end, towards the credits. Like the question that Eric and I had were like, well, is it infecting anything else? And then the credits rolled. I'm like, that's great.
Who matters? Who cares? 83 minutes. They were in and out.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was great. Got in, got dirty, got in and out. I respect the game. So yeah, if you want to watch this, I don't know, if you want to watch something really fucking stupid at the end of the year, that's a fun little creature feature. I would say this is up your tree. If it's not, like, if this does not sound like you would enjoy it, you could skip over it. It's on Apple TV, Google Play, YouTube, Microsoft Store, and Amazon video for the US. And again, like, know your rental price for this. Like, think about it. How much do you want cheesy CGI kangaroos fucking shit up? Personally, I was here for it, but
Yep.
yeah, not everyone would be there for it. So
Yeah, exactly. I had fun with it. It was exactly what it was showing that it would be.
right, you could tell that we're getting to the end of the year. We're back to scraping the barrel.
Yep.
The barrel. Which this next Academy Award winning film you need to discuss.
Oh yeah, this one kind of falls in the line of Rippy.
Oh fuck
so
yeah!
this is called Werewolf Santa with a. It's got a 71-minute runtime. This can be found on Tubi.
Oh fuck.
So yeah, like I said, we've been watching a lot of Christmas horror
for
films.
Free on Tubi, right? For free on
Yep.
Tubi.
And we've been watching a lot of Christmas horror films. We came across this one. We're going, oh my
man.
God, let's watch this. The tagline is Seasons Eatings.
Seasons eatings.
Lucy has a social media channel where she hunts evidence of actual monsters, but it's not doing great with just a few viewers following her disappointing posts. Everything changes on Christmas Eve when her camera witnesses Santa getting bitten by a werewolf before he turns lycanthrope himself.
Jesus
As
Christ.
As werewolf Santa starts wreaking bloody havoc in their seaside town, Lucy and her bickering family set off on a madcap adventure armed with a rusty skate and a vague understanding of how to kill werewolves gained from her collection of horror comics. The beast must die to save Christmas. this this is where Rob the Hump is gonna give us shit because Letterbox says 2023. I looked it up and I think it had a release like on December 30th last year. So
Shut
I'm
the
like
fuck up,
after.
Rob.
So I'm throwing this in 2024. It's not. I don't think it's gonna get any of my awards, but this one is exactly how you hear it. Werewolf Santa. It is dumb, but it is fun. It is low budget. It's got a short runtime, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's got pretty good werewolf effect of like
All
Santa,
right.
a werewolf Santa in a Santa outfit. He looks more like I would say, like a lower budget version of the Wolfman.
Okay. I
So
can
it's,
handle
but
that.
you don't see much, you don't see any transformation. You don't see any kills on screen at all. Kind of happens off screen
Okay.
because obviously low budget. But
Yeah, yeah.
this was just done with they knew what they were making and they just had fun with it. And I was here for it. I was laughing. I was just smiling. It was just a fun little low budget horror Christmas film that just made like, I was like, okay, there can be some good Christmas horror films out there.
So basically, like Friday Nightmares. We're just doing what we
Exactly.
can. A little low budget podcast. Just watching shitty movies. Movies about werewolf Santas and killer kangaroos. That's what we bring here on Friday Nightmares.
Exactly. We
Well,
bring you the primo content.
and then some like fucking TIFF films that are random to throw in there just so we can look a little fucking high trash. Oh, sorry.
But
Where's
yeah,
this available? This Tubi?
this is available to stream on Tubi and it looks like Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And it can be bought or rented on Google Play, Amazon Video, and Apple TV. And yeah, I'd say give this a watch if you're into like the low budget. Like this does a better werewolf than half the like werewolf movies that have came out over the last couple of years.
Well, hey, you know what? They got that going for them then. Good for them. Good for you, Werewolf Santa. Good for you. Don't let anyone put you down for your
Exactly.
transitions. You know, sometimes we bring a lot of trash here on Friday Nightmares. And, you know, sometimes we watch a movie and it's a remake. And at least with the Strangers remake that came out this year, I got what was going on. Not a great movie, but I got what was going on. I watched Street Trash 2024 and I'm still not sure what the point of the movie was.
Yeah, and I failed you because I was good because you needed me to watch it to hopefully explain it to you. I have not got to it yet. I am going to watch it and I will see if I can help. I did hear this is also considered a sequel to the original, not as much a
Oh,
remake. So
okay.
maybe that could be part of the questioning. Like maybe just don't remember a lot of what happened in the original. Because I mean, honestly, this may piss off some listeners. I can't really stand the original Street Trash. Just
Neither can I.
I like the effects, but that's about
Mhm.
it. I don't need to be seeing like rapey crap with bums and things like that are going on in this movie and the way it was handled. I'm like, not for me.
So they've cut that shit out. I'll give them credit. They've definitely 2024ized it. The tag is Melt the Rich. A group of
Ha,
homeless misfits must fight for survival when they discover a plot to exterminate every homeless person in the city. A remake of the 1987 cult classic is what it says here on Letterboxd. But
okay.
I don't know. I think you're probably right. I have no fucking idea. So here's the good news. It wasn't just me who didn't get it. Tim Davis from Horror for Dummies or Dummies of Horror. Oh, wait.
Horror for dummies.
Yeah, Horror for
You're
Dummies,
right.
right?
Shit,
Yeah.
dummies a
No,
horror.
is it Dummies of Horror, right?
Yeah,
That's
now
his
it's dummies a
old
horror. My
name
bad.
here.
Yeah.
He gave it 2 stars. This was dumb. I'm sorry, it didn't work for me at all. It's just dumb humor that I don't connect with. Some practical effects are cool and the score was neat, but the consistent jokes made it look like they were trying way too hard. Just like me trying to hit on Tim. So yeah, that sums it up. And then Matt Wood. Wow. Wow.
That
I
sexy
listened
Atwood.
to his DJ set the other day. It was really good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm a friend. That's why.
Well,
Scott.
I'm a friend too. I just sent him a friend request on the PlayStation.
Oh, wow. Look at
Yeah,
you. Huh?
yeah,
Even across oceans, bringing
damn
people
right.
together.
Him and I are docking across oceans.
Yeah, this didn't hit with me, even though I was looking forward to it. The multicolor gore and special effects are cool. I like the score. However, aside, the jokes didn't land for me. The chat in between was all a bit dull, and there's some types I couldn't understand what they were saying due to the South African dialect. I won't give his like rating because he always does really colorful, funny ones that
Yeah,
spoil. But I'm with these two. They gave it 2 stars, 2.5. I think 2 stars is fair. I think the special effects in this movie are great. The practical effects are fucking awesome. I will give that. There were some characters that did have a couple of funny jokes, but overall I found the movie boring. I didn't really understand the point of it. I felt like the acting was very wooden and not really enjoyable, and I don't really get why this was remade, fucking sequel, whatever it is. Which is going to be similar to something we talk after this. I feel like this was the year of unnecessary sequels and remakes. Like,
eh,
you know
I'm
what I mean?
I'm kind of there. I'll say because yeah, there's quite a few this year.
Right. And again, like, hey man, enjoy what you enjoy, like, but I just really don't get the purpose of remaking this unless to just get out like the really gross sexual assault shit from the first one. But anyway, this is 85 minutes long. It's available on all the renting services, Apple TV, Google Play, YouTube, Amazon. I would say watch this if for some reason you really like the first one and you want to see the second one, or the remake or the sequel, whatever it is. Um, that would be about it. I would say if you're like me and you were lukewarm on the first one or didn't like it, I don't know if you really this is gonna I was hoping this was gonna make me like it. And it
Right.
and it did not. It did not do that.
No,
So
that's the kind of the consensus I've been getting from it too.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I'll bring in the next one because I watched this last night and I know you've seen it.
Yes, I have.
I think this is what you were hinting at with unnecessary sequels,
Yeah.
so we'll get
Yeah, I
into that.
was. Yeah.
But this one is Smile 2, 127-minute runtime, and its tagline is "It's the last thing you'll see." About to embark on a new world tour, global pop sensation Sky Riley begins experiencing increasingly terrifying and inexplicable events. Overwhelmed by the escalating horrors and the pressures of fame, Sky is forced to face her dark past to regain control of her life before it spirals out of control. That is a weird synopsis to not even like if someone did not know this was Smile 2, that synopsis doesn't tell you anything about it being
I
a
know,
sequel.
right?
That's weird. But yeah, I absolutely loved the first movie. It was in my top 10 that year. I think I went into it expecting it to be just kind of mediocre and was kind of
Yeah.
blown away by
Yeah.
the way they covered the trauma and the curse and all this stuff that was involved in this
Yep.
on the lore building up to this
Yep.
smile demon. And so I was looking forward to seeing this one because I'm like, ooh, famous pop star, which I called exactly how it was going to end. I knew it was going to end the way it did. But I was like, ooh, pop star getting the smile curse put upon her. Okay, this could be really interesting. And for the most part, yeah, it was a very interesting movie. Very entertaining, some really good gore, and the moments that it showed gore. The 2 hour and 9 minute
Yeah.
runtime
That's
was
my
a
beef.
bit much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the biggest gripe I really had about this, because I thought everybody's acting was great, thought the story was intriguing. My biggest gripe, though, is this did not build on the lore of the Smile Demon at all. Like, I figured, it's a sequel, figured it would have been a little bit more lore added, but they didn't add anything new to it. It was more of the same, but with a pop star instead of therapist.
Yeah.
So but like
Yeah.
I think what's her name?
Naomi Scott?
Yes, Naomi Scott. I thought she did an amazing job as like
Yep.
a Lady Gaga like style pop star.
Totally.
Thought she was amazing in it, and yeah, like I still really enjoyed it. But I don't think where Smile One was like instantly top 10, one of my favorite movies of that year. This will probably not make my top 10. It missed the mark by just being a little too long and not really adding anything new to the lore of the Smile Demon and just kind of giving me more of the same. And then
Yep.
the kind of reveal when she's on stage at the end pissed me off.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think you echoed exactly what I thought. One, I thought the filming of this was incredible. I thought Naomi Scott was incredible. But I felt like the first one, the beginning of this movie tries to loosely tie in the end of the first
Yes.
in a very silly way, to be quite honest. And I'm going to give somewhat of a spoiler here. So people fast forward if you need to for the next minute. So my thing is she this is spoiler again. Fast forward a minute if you have not seen this movie. So she has a traumatic event happen to her earlier in her life. How did the demon not find her earlier? The reason why she's has some of the issues she has is because of the things she witnessed, which would have
Yes.
been traumatic. So why didn't it find her then? You know what
Uh
I'm saying?
well, that's not kind of how the demon works though. It's
Like, is
by
it only? Oh,
whoever
so
witnesses them getting
okay.
killed.
So it's not anybody that witnesses any kind of trauma. It's
No, it's
that.
just the
Okay.
that specific trauma
It's
by
kind
the
of like it
infected. And
follows.
yes, it
Okay.
follows in Ringu where it's like the person that is infected with the smile demon parasite or whatever you want to call it. When they kill themselves, they got to kill them. They're being forced to kill themselves in front of somebody,
Got it.
and that person that sees that happening is now cursed, and
So
the
it's
demon
a
is moved on.
specific situation. Okay.
Yes.
Spoiler part ended. So yeah, like I think my thoughts are right with you, Scotty. I think the 2 hour runtime was a little much. I don't know why they thought that was needed.
It seems to be the new way with horror films. There's
Yeah.
so many 2 hour something runtime.
Yeah, and like there's some movies where you can get away with that, and then there's other ones where I'm like, this is an hour and a half film. This is
Yeah.
not a 2 hour film. Um, like Matt said it decently here. Yeah, this was decent, but not as good as the first one. I thought it did its own thing in New Direction, which was interesting. I just don't think it had the same impact as the first, and I didn't find it scary either.
Yeah.
Well put together and well act, and I agree. And I think the thing is they relied a lot on jump scares here, like a
Yes.
lot.
That's actually funny because Connor wasn't watching it, but he was in the kitchen making something to eat, and he kept hearing the jump scare noise happen, and he's
Yeah.
going, "Good God!" He's like, "I've been in here for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I've heard the jump scare noise 6 different times already." I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah, like
it's relying
that's
way
the
too
thing,
much on
right?
that."
But hey, you know what? Good acting, interesting story. Not the worst film I've seen this year.
Yeah,
Not the worst sequel I've seen this year. So,
yeah.
sorry.
I still give this an 8 out of 10. It's still
Oh,
good,
okay.
but it's just nowhere near the level of the first one for me, which was after a couple rewatches, it's become a 10 out of 10 for me. I loved it.
Yeah, agreed. I'm probably more to 7. And that's fine. Like it's still decent. If people want to watch it, it is available on Apple TV, Google Play, Amazon Video, YouTube. And again, it's if you like the first one and you would like that kind of theme of movie, then I think you'll enjoy this. It's worth whatever rental you pay. But I haven't seen anyone yet go way better than the first one.
Yeah.
So know that going into it, and set your expectations accordingly. Now have you seen this gem?
No, and it sounds like I'm glad I missed it because I think Tim Davis watched it and talked about it, and he's our shark expert for our
Yes.
little group.
He is. So, shark warning 2024. After 20 years, a man returns to the town where his brother was killed by a shark. When it resurfaces and kills again, the man goes on a mission to hunt down the predator, making unlikely alliances along the way in order to stop it once and for all. The acting in this is painful. It's very painful. It's sitting at a 94-minute runtime. I will say that it focuses on the shark story. Like it's based around shark. So Tim said the Asylum's version of Jaws, and I think that that's pretty
Ah,
much funny. I think that's very complimentary to compare it to Jaws, more than this film deserves. It's probably one of the worst shark movies that came out this year.
oh boy.
I think I even enjoy the chicks on the boat a little bit more because at least like it kind of like had some anticipation to it and a little bit of dread. This didn't have anything.
Right.
But I watch these movies because I need a worse of for the other podcasts that I do, and I look forward to torturing the
Oh,
ladies with something. And this may be a contender. So we'll see because
oh,
it's pretty cheese.
and
Um,
I love it when you bring your worst of to the table
I
for
do.
them ladies because you put them through hell with the
I
movies
do.
you choose.
Well, they'll be like, "Oh, worst one is like some fucking theater release." I'm like, "You haven't seen worst one
Yes.
yet." Though I may choose the Mousetrap, because I do think it's hilarious. So yeah, shark warning. I don't know. My warning is you could skip it unless you're really, really into shark films. It is available on Apple TV, Google Play, Microsoft Store. I don't know, man. If you're really into this shit, rent it. If not, I would say skip over that bad boy. Now, have you seen this other one?
This is another one you told me I have to watch. Have not got to it yet.
Okay. So this was recommended to me from Matt Woods because he knows of my my love for a certain part that men have attached to them. It's their brains. I really love a good personality in a man. Scott knows that. I'm always talking about how personalities are the most important thing to me.
Oh, 100%.
Just like to ride those personalities, you know. This movie is called Members Club, and it's very British. Old members welcome. Wet Dreams, a middle-aged male strip group takes one last gig at a rural working men's club, only to discover that they are to become sacrificial in a plot to raise somebody. This movie is really fucking funny. I had a really good time with this film. It's nothing over the top or special. It has the occasional funny parts in it, but it's these old guys. It's like the full Monty horror film. That's the best way to describe it. And it doesn't take itself seriously. It's meant to be fucking silly. The ending is chef's kiss. There's a scene at the end that is just so funny. I can't wait for you to watch it, Scott, because you're gonna fucking die. Like there's a scene that I know when you get to it that you're gonna be playing like, of course, like just it's funny. It's just silly, silly, silly.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's not really streaming anywhere. Hopefully it drops before the end of the year. We did watch a screener. It has a bunch of like British soap stars in it, and it's fucking great. And it's 90 minutes. Thank you for being fucking 90 minutes as a horror film and not dragging this shit out for
Right?
hours on end. It has a 3.2 star rating, and I 10 out of 10 recommend. You do see a lot of penis in this film, which
Ooh, they hang dong. Nice.
oh yeah, there's a lot of dongs, which I was here for it. That's why Matt recommended it. He's like, Heather, there's a lot of what you like in this film, and Matt knows me. Matt knows, and I appreciate that, Matt. It is what I like. It's true.
I think all our listeners know at this point.
I know, right? Like,
if
we
you
like,
don't, you haven't been listening right.
we like what we like, man. And there's certain things, let's just say that I enjoy the finer things in life, and that's one of the finer things. So, um, so yeah, I would say it's worth it if you get access to this and you want something short, simple, but be aware if you're watching this with kids. I'm thinking about you, Tim. Like there is dong in it. There's a lot of dong in it. So I don't know if maybe this is something to watch around the kids, but Jaleesa might be interested. She might want to see some dong. I don't know. I'm sure she's also a connoisseur as well. So yeah,
You would think.
you would think, right? And now let's bring in the big bang.
Yes. So we were lucky enough to have access to this documentary that I don't believe is officially out yet. I think it's out to the people who supported it through Kickstarter, Indiegogo, or wherever it was. But this is In Search of Darkness, 1990 to 1994. It's 383-minute runtime, so it's a good, I think, 6 hours. About 6 hours.
About 6 hours.
And its tagline: "A journey into iconic '90s horror. Film icons and genre experts share observations, experiences, and analysis to help reframe, deconstruct, and recontextualize the lost decade of horror, the 1990s." This just covers, just like all the other In Search of Darkness, this covers 1990 to 1994 and covers a lot of well-known and very well hidden gems, and once again made me wax nostalgic on a lot of these movies and made me go, shit, I need to start writing down a list of movies I need to watch from this decade that I have not seen before that you guys have just brought up. Because
Totally,
holy
right?
shit, yeah, like this brought back a lot of just nostalgic feelings that I have not had in a while because of movies I just forgot about.
Right? There was a lot on here that I had never even really heard of. A lot of straight to video that I was not familiar with, which is weird for a premium podcaster such as myself and you, Scotty.
Right?
But this is a great doc. I watched it over a couple of nights, and
Same.
I just think the In Search of Darkness. I've also watched In Search
In
of the
Search of
Future
Tomorrow.
tomorrow as well. And I just think these filmmakers really hit it out of the park when it comes to documentaries.
Yeah.
I also watched the Chucky doc as
I
well.
still need to see that.
It's very good as well. I really enjoyed that too. I just think these documentaries are such a nice way to explore, in the Child's Play one, things you didn't know about Child's Play franchise, but In Search of Darkness, to really pull out movies that perhaps you aren't aware of or don't realize the impact that they had. They brought up two Nightmare on Elm Street movies in this. They brought up the Freddy's Dead and the New Nightmare. And I really
Hmm.
do think the New Nightmare doesn't get as much love as it should. I think the New Nightmare is actually quite clever. I think it's a really, really good film. And it was just,
I
I
mean,
don't
it
know,
it did Scream before Scream.
right? Right, it did. It did. So yeah, I recommend this when it drops. If you liked the other ones, there's no reason why you won't like this, and it's great. You can watch it over a series of nights or days, and it's a great way to kind of end off the year. It's
Oh,
a nice little
100%.
chef's kiss to the year.
Yeah, because this even covered a lot of the Stephen King TV movie
Hmm.
adaptations, which that has kickstarted a new marathon. Erica and I are going to be starting in that Stephen King movie adaptation or Stephen King adaptations, whether it be movies or TV movies. We're going to watch all the ones that we have not seen in a very long time and kind of starting from the beginning and working our way up. And it's going to be a long marathon because there's a lot of Stephen King films. But
Yeah,
that, thanks to In Search of Darkness, that's why we got into it. And I think we might eventually do a full moon one as well because they covered a lot of full moon movies as well
yeah,
in that In Search of Darkness. And
yeah.
that's where I learned a lot about Erica, who apparently was a full moon girl growing up because
Cool.
she's like, oh yeah, this movie is amazing. She's like, and I was like, I've never even heard of this one, and she was talking all this love about this. I'm going, okay, this is a whole new light upon you that I did not see before.
You're like, I thought I was a fucking premium podcaster, Erica. Know your role. Go back and make brownies.
Hell no, I ain't saying that. She'd kick my ass,
And she
and
probably
I'm
would kick your
scared,
ass. You should be
though I
scared.
might like it.
So that's part of the role play, right? So,
Exactly.
right. Well, I think again, thank you for hopefully this drops this year. Thank you everyone that crowd funded it and supported it. I look forward to 95 to 2000 if that's what they do. I think I don't know, they just nailed these docs, and I look forward to them doing more of it. We already mentioned the two other films that we're looking at watching towards the end of the year, and I don't know, maybe some other like trash films that we watch, but I don't think there's going to be anything else that's really going to jump out to our fancy by the end of the year.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And yeah, because like I say, I'm going to be kind of just playing catch up on the few that I missed that are kind of more highly regarded just to kind of fill out my list and help me get kind of a better idea of what my top 10 and awards will be.
Yeah, yeah,
So
totally.
we shall see.
We'll see about that. But yeah, so we'll do other watches. So I put other watches because this kind of falls into older or newer.
Yeah.
I was watching on Netflix Terror Tuesday Extreme. I think it's the same people that made the doc, the Thai doc Extreme. So it's basically 45-minute episodes of Thai short horror films, and they're quite good. All of them have been fucking excellent that I have watched. I 10 out of 10 recommend it. So they have come out, I think, this year, but they're not really a movie. It's more of like a TV series that's on the Netflix. So you like Thai movies, you like short little episodes of 45 minutes, then this is for you. You can watch it either subtitled or dubbed, and it is Terror Tuesday Extreme, and it is available on Netflix.
Nice. Yeah, this is one that I remember you telling me about. So I'll
Yeah, it
have
was
to
good.
try watching it at some point.
Yeah,
But I got some gems for you. Our Christmas movie marathon.
I'm excited for this.
So the first one I'm going to talk about is probably one of our most recent ones we've watched, and that is Killer Raccoons 2: Dark Christmas in the Dark.
Dark Christmas in the Dark is my favorite part of that.
It got released in 2019 and has a 96-minute runtime. Only one other person has seen this on my friends list on Letterbox, and that is our good buddy Jason Gray, who gave it a 4 out of 5.
Very nice.
But I do have to ask Jason, is there a Killer Raccoons 1, or is this one of those goofy things where they made a Killer Raccoons 2, but there was no actual sequel? Because I looked up Killer Raccoons, and this is the only one that pops up on Letterboxd. So I'm just curious. But the synopsis for this one, just when you thought it was safe to say Merry Christmas again. On a on a snowy Christmas Eve, former mild-mannered college student Casey Smallwood is released from prison after serving 10 years for underage drinking. Eager to get out of town, he hops on the express train to Washington, D.C. But after the Holiday Express takes off into the winter wilderness, it's hijacked by an angry gang of domestic terrorists and highly intelligent government-trained raccoons. Not one to back down from raccoon fight. Casey joins forces with a porter on the train to fight the terrorists, help bring down a top-secret raccoon-controlled military laser satellite, and show those raccoons who's in charge. This was so goddamn stupid. And but at the same time, I think this movie broke my brain because whenever the raccoons were on screen, they were just like stiff raccoon puppets that had
Like,
no move, like they couldn't move,
oh, I love
and
it.
they were shooting machine guns or AKs or whatever, but they were looking away from where they're shooting. So the head was here and the guns are pointing this way. And the noises these raccoons make were like,
Oh my
and
god, that's too funny.
anytime they were on screen, I literally just started bursting out giggling like I was stoned off my ass. Like I just couldn't stop to the point where I had a hard time breathing
I love
because I
it.
just
I
couldn't
love
stop.
it.
And Connor even comes out going, "What the hell is wrong with him?" And Erica's going, "I think we've watched one too many bad Christmas movies, and we've broken Scott." Because I will probably never watch this again. But goddamn, did I just have a dumb fun time laughing my ass off at this?
I'm glad you enjoyed it. And it sounds like I hope you can't hear my dogs barking in the
Oh,
background.
we can, but it's not too bad.
Okay. What's the next one?
The next one is these are all on Tubi, by the way.
Okay.
And the next one is Sleigh Bells. And this is bells as in beauties,
Yes.
Belles type
Yes.
bells.
Babes.
Yep.
Babes.
It's a 2018 release, 77-minute runtime. While urban exploring in an abandoned amusement park, three cosplaying girls accidentally unleash the vicious holiday beast known as Krampus. With the help of Santa Claus, can these girls stop Krampus from his killing spree? Yeah, this was just a silly, low budget, over the top acting, boobs, gore, just ridiculous, but also kind of entertaining Christmas
Nice.
movie.
Nice.
There's not a lot to say about it. Like, it's just low budget
It is
fun.
what it is. Sleigh bells says it all.
Now, the next one I'm going to talk about, this one actually was a nice surprise. Now, bring up the name of it on Letterboxd real quick. This one is Amityville Christmas Vacation,
Oh fuck yeah.
an Amityville movie from 2022 with a beautifully sweet, like, know what they've got runtime of 50 minutes.
Fuck yeah.
Wally has won a vacation to sunny Amityville. While there, he met a woman, a ghost woman. Can the spirit of Christmas bring these two opposites together? That is the synopsis.
I love it. I love it.
This was actually quite cute and charming and funny. Like I was shocked because I'm going, oh god, Amityville. This is going to be terrible because there has
Yeah.
not been a good Amityville movie since like
The
I don't even
first one.
remember what. Yeah, like everything is just trash.
Yeah.
But whatever the director did with this, like he knew what he had. The actors knew what they were doing. Like they knew that what type of movie they were portraying. It was silly. It was ridiculous. It was super low budget, but it was also just very cute and charming. Where I actually adored the two main leads in this film a lot, and I actually would buy this movie. It was like this one could be a Christmas
Aww.
tradition, like for me now. Like this was a really just fun little film that just surprised the hell out of me.
That's sweet. And that's on Tubi as well.
Yes.
Well, there we go. We have Terror Tuesday, Tie Extreme, and 3 fucking Christmas horror movies from Scotty. This really is scraping the bottom of the barrel 2024 December show. I love it.
Uh,
For the first time in a long time, we're going to talk about a podcast. It's been a
ooh.
very long time. I
Besides
won't talk.
Dungeons of Horror.
Oh yeah, besides like all the podcasts that we usually talk about, but one that's different. So for any of those who live in Canada or visited Canada and believe in ghosts and supernatural, there is a podcast called Haunted Canada. It is a do-it-yourself podcast, and it is run by a woman who does ghost walks in British Columbia. So she has traveled all around Canada and has done different ghost walks and stayed at haunted places. So a lot of the places she talks about, she's actually stayed at. She chooses three hauntings per episode, and she tells the story. So it's a little history, a little folklore, all wrapped up in a nice 45-minute, less or less episode. So if you're into ghosties and you're looking for kind of someone who I would say is a step above Scott and I when it comes to production value and just doing a pretty good podcast in general, but you're looking for more of that supernatural, true stories in Canada, and she does a real good mix. Some of them I'm familiar with them, some of them I'm not. It's a really good little podcast. It's called Haunted Canada. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, basically anywhere where you listen. And I would say go give it a listen if you're into that kind of thing.
Nice. I'll say, yeah, 'cause that sounds familiar. Haunted Canada.
Yeah, there's a TV show.
Oh, okay. I was like,
And
yeah,
for some reason, she's doing a podcast. I hope she doesn't get in trouble because there's a TV show. But anyway, I don't think it's by the same person either.
oh, gotcha.
That's why but hey, you know what? It's Canadian shit and no one watches it. So, she's probably fine. But yeah, that's why it sounds familiar, is
Okay.
because there's a TV show that I probably talked about on here before.
That's probably, yep.
And now it's a podcast. So,
All
she
right.
was doing a couple episodes, she stopped, and then she came back. So yeah. Anyway, if you're interested into ghosty stories, check it out.
Nice. And yeah, like I promised, I came back with some book talk because last episode I did not finish either of the books I was listening or reading, and I finished both of them. One of them is a re-listen slash reread, and that is Under the Dome by Stephen King. This one is about a little, like just a tiny little town that all of a sudden a dome that shapes the border of this town just appears out of nowhere, just like slams over the top of the town.
Sounds like the typical starting of a Stephen King novel, a tiny little town, and
Uh huh.
bullshit happens.
In Maine.
In Maine, and bullshit goes down.
But yeah, like this dome just comes crashing down, like slices animals in half that were like walking across the line.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Cars going full speed into this dome and crashing and dying because it's just like, it's like a solid material, but it's invisible.
Yeah.
And planes crashing in the air because it's reaching way up in the sky and stuff. So it's a horrific little opening segment for this book. And then it's just basically the story of what would these townsfolk do if they were cut off from the rest of the world, only had like a limited amount of supplies in their stores, had a corrupt councilman of the city running the show and basically trying to be a dictator during all of this, and basically just showing the breakdown of civilization in this town within less than a week. And I listened to this book probably 10 or so years ago, fell in love with it. And re-listening to it, I think I have to say this, like not a lot of people are fans of the ending. I don't mind the ending of this one, but I'm also of the known quantity that Stephen King has a hard time making a good ending for his books majority of the time. He has amazing stories, just has a hard time figuring out a good ending. This one, though, this is probably one of my favorite. This is, if not my all-time favorite Stephen King novel.
Okay.
Like, I just love all the characters, because in a Stephen King novel, you got like 30 or so characters that you're following and that getting to know really well. And it's, he's great at that and great at the details and just building up these characters and the stuff that happens in this story. It's just like horrific, but also just fascinating, where I was gripped the entire time. So this is one of my favorite Stephen King books of all time. Recommend it to anybody if they haven't read it or listened to it, but it is a really long book. I think this was like a 36-hour read on
Jesus
Audible.
Christ, that is long. Okay.
Yeah. But the next one is a book that I covered the another movie, or covered another of this author's books before, and the author is Nick Cutter. And the book that I talked about before was The Troop, like an
Yeah.
'80s throwback to body horror.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had another book that I kept seeing people talking about called The Deep. And this one also dives into a bit of the body horror, which is awesome. But
Mm.
it starts off with the world has been infected by this disease called the Gets, and what it is this disease that has like a insanely severe case of Alzheimer's, where
Oh, okay.
where the people like they start forgetting little things here and there, forgetting their names, start forgetting who you are, typical like
Yeah.
unfortunate Alzheimer's effects.
Yeah.
Then it gets worse to the point where they can't even remember how to do normal functions like eating or breathing until they basically die because they can't do any of these things.
Oh,
And
this is
that
really
is,
dark.
yeah, I'll say that's the start of this book where it's like this disease is ongoing, and the main character gets called upon by the military because his brother is like their super smart scientist that's trying to figure out a cure for this disease. The brother believes he found a cure deep down in the Mariana Trench. So they have this submarine base set up down in the
Okay.
Mariana Trench.
Okay.
So the main character, gets shipped over to this sea bunker, and they go down in this submarine to get to this space station or underwater station. And that is where the true horror begins, because they have found what could possibly be the cure called ambrosia. And for some people that may not know, ambrosia is also the nickname of food of the gods, which is something in like old ancient Greek, I believe.
Mm.
But yeah, it's this like weird algae that seems to reconstruct and rebuild like wounds and can kind of bring people's memory back and stuff like that. But of course, there is a much darker, sinister thing taking hold with this ambrosia, and it's actually more like a Lovecraftian nightmare beast in a way. And
Your
it,
thing
yeah,
completely.
and it starts taking over the body and kind of gives
Yeah.
me the Thing vibes.
Nice. Nice.
And yeah, it's like The Thing meets that Leviathan movie that Erica introduced me to a couple years back. And this gets really claustrophobic and horror centric and made me just like go, ooh, this is creepy as fuck. This
Awesome.
is yeah, Nick Cutter is becoming one of my new favorite modern day authors. Like I'm loving his work. He kind of hits that '80s horror feel.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that you brought two more books by the end of the year. You did start that this year, and I'm glad we were able to kind of knock it off, kind of like how we usually would. Some older watches or other watches, a podcast, some books, a handful of 2024s that we
Yep.
dug out with
And yeah, and I even
a couple standouts.
got two more books that I'm doing right now that I might have for next episode, but I'm doing Damnation Game by Clive
Oh,
Barker.
nice.
And I'm listening to Stephen King's Misery for the first time.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Very nice. But the amount we record, that will be in 2026 that we'll talk about it. We're just going to
Exactly.
skip over 2025.
Yeah, 2025 is just that year doesn't happen. We're
Like,
too much going on.
I wonder, yeah, like Scott and I will give the heads up before we stop recording. Like, we're not going to just break up with you guys and go stone silent. We'll do a final episode and say this is it.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to have to really look at, after we do our top 100, our end of the year, our top ones from 23, 24, or what? No, what did
2020, 24.
right? How much we want to do in 2025. I
Yep.
think we'll have to have a really big conversation about that, because I know I will be traveling a lot coming up next year, and Scott is getting married. So come
It could be a lot of
the
busy.
summer, you're going to be very busy. So I think we may have to make some we're not saying that we're going anywhere. We're just saying that I think
We're not saying it's you. It's
as us, but we'll see. We want to definitely though do our 2024 awards. The thing that we wanted to do with our top movies from the years that we watched, that will probably be split into 2 episodes. And then we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah.
And we'll
yeah,
see what
'cause
2025 brings. We'll see.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, we're definitely not done. We still have the bottom of the barrel 2025s to scrape up,
I
and
know. It just, we may end up being, we have been a monthly podcast, and I feel as though if we continue, it will be a monthly podcast.
Yeah. It'll
And
probably just because it just makes it easier on us now with a
yeah,
lot of our lives. Like, just
yeah.
our lives are changing. It happens.
Right? It is. And Scott's getting married, and that's a really big deal. And we need to like spend a lot of time preparing for that beautiful day.
The shenanigans that will
Yeah.
occur.
Well, and just making sure that Erica still really wants to do this.
I I keep asking her, "Are you sure? Are you feeling okay?"
Right? Right? It's like misery. She's like chained to the bed. You're like, "Are you sure?" She's like, "I don't really have a choice, Scott."
You cock-a-doodie do.
Cock duty do. Well, thank you as always for supporting us over this year. It's been an adventure and a half, good and bad and everything in between. Fuck off, Blumhouse, with your dumb movies. Please, for the love of God, stop making stupid fucking movies. And yeah, we'll see what our awards bring. It will be a very colorful list.
Yeah, it should be very interesting. I may have to like really scrape the dregs to find some for some of the categories, but we shall see.
We will see. As always, we are proud members of the Legion Podcast Network, have been for many years now. Couldn't have done this without them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you are not a Patreon yet, please join them, even if not for all the free stuff, for all the things they do for little podcasters like Scott and I, and giving us an avenue. And it's been many years now. We're going on 4 years, 5 years. Scotty, if someone hasn't joined the Legion Patreon yet for $2 a month, what would you say to that person? They're right in front of you. What would you say?
Look, you haven't joined yet. What the fuck's wrong with you? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Do it. Do it now. Join us. Join us. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Join us.
Yes, join us today. There's so many good creators on Patreon too. I know I'm members of a couple of different Patreons, and people do a lot of work, and we really do appreciate all the support that we've gotten over the years.
Oh
So
yeah.
thank you.
It's been a wonderful journey, and I'm looking forward to what the next year brings. And we shall see what all the fun shenanigans we get up to. And as always, thank you everybody for supporting us and giving us the feedback and correcting us when we're wrong, or if there's some
Well,
opinion on a
no,
movie.
here's the thing: we're never wrong though.
Oh, true.
Right? Like
We are premium. We are
we are
premium.
premium. It's
We are the tomahawk steaks of podcasting.
right. Like
Right.
there's everyone else, and then there's us.
That's true. Like the low budget beef Wellington horror guys over there, dummies of horror.
Right? Like they only have one movie theater that they all go to watch a movie. That's
I
why
know they're
it's
just getting to watch Jurassic Park for the first
I
time.
know. They're really excited. They're just wait till we tell them that there's been like 18 billion sequels afterwards.
Oh man, and Terminator 2, Tim, you're gonna love it.
It's really great special effects, state of the art actually. It will be interesting to see if they make another Jurassic Park film. Or World or whatever
Oh,
it
they
is.
are.
Jesus Christ.
Scarlett Johansson apparently is signed on with this one as well.
Oh my god. Fuck, we don't need another fucking Jurassic World film. We
Yeah,
really truly don't. But hey, you know what? It makes money.
it does
It makes
somehow.
somehow. Well, thank you everybody for listening. We will see you again for our end of the year award show. And I forget what I usually say. Thank you very much for listening, blah blah blah. And then I'll say something like, Scotty, do you have anything to say to the good
Yeah, there we go.
people?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you as always, and we will see you on the flip side. So until next time, kiddies, unpleasant dreams.
See ya.
Bye.